Alright, today's lesson is on sales tax, tip, and commission. We'll first start off with sales tax. It's our percent of a total bill that the consumer must pay in addition to the total bill. And pretty much the steps to solving our sales tax is no different than when we solve our markup problems. We're going to find out how much the tax is, and then we're going to be adding that to the original amount. Okay. For our tip, we have the percent of a total bill or amount the consumer pays in addition to the total bill. Just like sales tax and just like markup, we're going to be finding the amount that someone pays in tip, and then we're going to be adding that to the original bill there. So same idea as markup, no difference. And then lastly, we have commission. It's a percentage an employee makes from the total sales of their job. The company or employer pays this amount, not the consumer. So the more somebody sells, the more money they can possibly make if they work off commission. It's kind of their pay scale. So we have a few problems for us to go ahead and try. There's no you try problems on this one, so there's just 5 problems we're going to have you do with me just to go ahead and get ready for class tomorrow. So our first one is Kasu is buying a chair for $110. If he has to pay 6% sales tax, what is his final bill? When you solve these, you can either just use an equation, or you may go ahead and set up a proportion. It is your choice. But the first thing we need to find out is how much money he has to pay in sales tax. So we're going to take our original amount of $110 and we're going to multiply by the 6%. We need to go ahead and turn that into a decimal, so 0.06. And I go ahead and multiply that, and I get an answer of $6.60 is what will be paid in sales tax. I take my original amount of 110 and I'm going to add my $6.60 to it, giving me an answer of $116.60 is going to be what he'll have to pay for the final bill. Alright, number 2, we have Saul works at a furniture store. He makes 15% commission on every sale he makes. If a customer buys $25,000 of furniture, how much commission will he make? So we're just going to take the original amount of how much he sold, which is $25,000 worth, and then we're going to multiply it by 15%. We're going to change that into a decimal first, so 0.15, and when I multiply that out, I get an answer of 3,750. So that is how much he would make off of selling that much furniture. Number 3, we have the price of a meal for 2 people is $70. They leave a 15% tip. What is the amount of the tip? What is the total amount of the meal and tip together? So in order for me to find the tip, I take my original amount of $70. I'm going to multiply it by the 15%, which is 0.15, and that equals $10.50. So that is the tip amount. I'm going to then take that $10.50 and we're going to add it to my original bill of $70. So if you were to tip $10.50, you're going to pay a total of $80.50 for the meal and the tip. Alright, number 4 says Millie finds a shirt and she wants to buy for June for her birthday. She only has $27 to spend. The shirt costs $25 and she has to pay 6.5% sales tax. Does she have enough money to buy the shirt for June? Okay. So we're not going to worry about this $27 yet. We're going to first take the original cost, which is $25, times it by that sales tax, which is 0.0675, and I get a sales tax amount of $1.625. If you want to round that to $1.63, you can easily do that. I'm going to take my original amount of $25 and I'm going to add on my sales tax amount, and I get an answer of $26.63. So we'd say yes, she has enough. Alright, and lastly, number 5, the price of a meal is $15.50 for one person. That person leaves a 20% tip. What is the amount of tip and what is the total amount? I'm going to take my $15.50, times it by 20%, which is 0.2, and I get an answer of $3.10 is going to be the tip amount. I'm going to take that tip amount and add it to the original amount of $15.50, and I get an answer of $18.60 is going to be the total. Alright, so that is how we solve our tax, tip, and our commission problem.